guys, Submoto here. So, today I want to talk about getting back on the horse after taking a tumble on your bike. Just a little update. The other day, a couple of days ago, I took a little tumble on this bike. Nothing bad happened to the bike, just a couple of scratches on the fork, and the brake pedal was all wrapped around. I managed to kick it back into shape though. So what happened was I hit a curb. You see those ramps like that that go up to like a driveway? I thought I saw a ramp, and I was kind of in a hurry, and so I slowed down and started blinking, and I was about to turn into what I thought was a ramp, and it wasn't a ramp, and it was just a pretty high side, like the sidewalk, like a curb, and I hit it with the front wheel, obviously, and since my angle of attack wasn't as sharp as it should have been if it were to go over the sidewalk, I ended up kind of like doing this, like that, and it hit the front wheel, and I started falling and tumbled and fell on my elbow, and I spent the night at the ER, got x-rays and stuff, and nothing's broken. So, and no bruises to be seen. It hurts like hell, but no bruises, and that's why they suggested that I go to the ER, since there were no bruises, but it hurt. They thought that maybe it might have been like a fracture, but I mean, I had my protection on, my elbow protection. I always wear full gear, even like knee protection and everything. But yeah, so nothing happened. Nothing happened to the bike. Like I said, I fixed that, and that's it. Not bad. So that's the second tumble I've ever taken in my life. The first one, I was standing still completely at a red light, and there was like 3 lanes. I was in the middle lane, and the guy on my left lane decided to change lanes, like in the middle of everything, right over me, as if I wasn't there. I almost didn't believe it as it was happening. I managed to jump off the bike, and nothing happened there either. So yeah. So I mean, nothing crazy. I'm sure a lot of you have taken worse tumbles than that. But the thing is, I was talking to a guy, one of my friends' parents, and he started riding a few years back with the idea that he was going to do Route 66 in the States, and he was like getting all ready for it, and he bought this giant like 1600cc bike. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a biggie, and he was riding down like a country road where there's one lane and then there's an opposite lane, or another lane in the opposite direction, and there was a truck driver that was driving in the opposite direction from him, that all of a sudden, I guess he fell asleep or something at the wheel. Nobody really knows what happened, but he started swerving into like the oncoming lane where he was at, and he had 2 cars in front of him, and the 2 cars in front of him just kind of swerved off into like a bush, and so he starts slowing down, and he's at like, I guess 20-30 kph, and all of a sudden he does the counter steering, you know, the where you push like that, you know, to avoid like that. Yeah. Anyway, so he does that. He does the counter steering, and if you're going to counter steer with a 1600cc bike at 20 or 30 kilometers an hour, it's going to be hard to balance. I mean, or he did it wrong or something, I don't know. Anyway, so what happens is he ends up taking a tumble, slides the bike, falls off, nothing happens, gets a few bruises, and that's it, right? But so he gets all spooked, and he gets off, he like picks up his bike, which is a feat in itself, because those things are frickin', I think it was like a Shadow or something, I don't know, like one of those, or Intruder, something. No, Nighthawk. Never mind. Whatever. It shows my knowledge of cruisers. Anyway, so he picks this thing up, and nothing happened. The truck driver didn't hit anything or anything. Just these 2 cars went off to the bush, and he slid his bike. He gets up, picks up his bike, and rides down like 100 meters, and then he stops and then gets off his bike again and parks it there and leaves it there and hasn't touched it since. And this was half a year ago. And we got into this conversation. I asked him how his, how's his riding doing and his plans and all. And he says, "Oh, I'm not riding anymore because of this accident I had." And I got to thinking. I couldn't help feeling or thinking a lot about his situation, and getting so spooked and realizing that riding a motorcycle is actually a dangerous thing, that he simply decided not to ride anymore. And I couldn't help kind of getting annoyed. It's so weird. But I kind of feel like if you're going to ride a bike, or if you're going to do anything that's remotely dangerous, you should probably realize that from the beginning and make that decision, that this is not just everything's dangerous. I mean, even sitting in your couch is dangerous. Walking on the street and riding a bike may get you killed. Life may get you killed. Will get you killed. So it's not about that. But if you're gonna jump out of an airplane with with parachutes and stuff, like, you're gonna have to would naturally make a decision before you do it, realizing that this is a dangerous thing I'm getting into. I better do it carefully, and be okay with the fact that you might end up in a hospital or dead. Without spooking yourself, because it's not about being afraid, it's just about respecting it. Like riding a horse, exact same thing. Whenever I rode a horse, I was, we knew he was in the cavalry. We knew it was a dangerous thing, and we had a couple of guys. One guy broke his neck, another guy broke his hip. It's dangerous stuff. That's just it. When I went to Iraq, when I went to Africa with the army, we knew it was dangerous stuff, and you kind of had to make that decision. So maybe for that reason, I was kind of annoyed at the fact that he just kind of gave up. I don't know. But anyway, so I guess the most important thing is getting back on the horse once you do fall, and not give it up. If it, and make sure that you do it because it's a passion you really like and want to do it, and just be aware and make that decision consciously in your mind that it is a dangerous thing. Anyway, so that's those are my 2 cents. Let me know what you think, and I'd be interested to see your point of view and what you think about the whole thing. Anyway, I'm going to German class because I'm going to be living in Berlin, and it's been years. The pedal was wrapped around the peg, so I thought this was broken, but it wasn't. So we just kind of kicked it forward, kicked it back. Amazing how flexible this thing is, and I just made sure that it's not weakened in any way. It works perfectly, and I got a couple of scratches here in the front. So stupid, freaking stupid. Oh yeah, and when I stopped, like the first thing that happened when I fell off the bike, there was a cop car behind me, and he pulled up and he's like, "Woo-hoo!" And I was like, all right, yeah, whatever. He's gonna ask what it was about. The first thing he says to me, your license plate angle is illegal. You're gonna have to fix that. If a motorcycle cop stops you, you're gonna get a ticket. He let me off. Cops here are pretty nice. I even tried the argument of, oh yeah, it got bent out of shape because I fell. And he's like, no, it didn't. Get it fixed. So, a bit of a scratch here too. Yeah. Anyway, which is a nightmare because it's not my bike, it's my girlfriend's bike. She bought it from me, so I'm just riding it until my SR 500 is ready. Whatever, I'm alive, the bike's fine. Tough little bike. I better get to German class and brush up on my German. So viel Spaß! So wie jeden Mal, vergiss nicht zu abonnieren und fahren und bis nächsten Mal. Tschüss!